Please welcome to the stage the Executive Director of Equality Utah, Troy Williams.
Star creatures, how are you doing tonight? Oh my God, Salt Lake City, we are so resilient. This month we survived a meteor attack and tonight's seating chart debacle, so thank you very much. I appreciate so much your kindness and your patience and your love for our incredible staff who work so hard to give you this incredible experience tonight. So, for almost a decade, Equality Utah has enjoyed enormous political success, and that is truly because of all of you. Your passion to help us engage in this work has made all of the difference. Now, over the past 8 years, we have passed several pro-LGBTQ bills in one of the most conservative states in the nation. And in 2019, I stood on this very stage and I told you all that we would ban conversion therapy, and together, 6 months later, we did. Yeah. And let me be very clear, no individual did this on their own. We did it together. So tonight, I am coming to you with a renewed urgency because the challenges ahead of us are grim. Every one of our past political achievements has come from our ability to bring stakeholders together, with Democrats and Republicans working in collaboration. But the national climate is making this more difficult. And that polarization is accelerating across the country and even here in Utah. We have massive problems. A pandemic, climate change, gun violence, abortion access, and now monkeypox. Our challenges may seem endless. And what's frustrating is that in the hour of our greatest planetary need, when democracy is fraying and when people are suffering, we humans are now at our most divided. We evolved as a species because of our capacity to collaborate. But social media algorithms and 24-hour partisan cable news pundits profit off whipping us all up into outrage, where we see our political opponents not as fellow Americans, but as enemies who need to be conquered. And we know that through history, and we see it today, in times of political extremism, our community often becomes an easy scapegoat. Now, I've been an LGBTQ advocate for almost 2 decades, and never in my career have I witnessed such an aggressive onslaught. This year, over 200 bills were introduced in legislatures across the country, specifically targeting LGBTQ youth. Across American red states, we have seen Don't Say Gay bills, sports bans, and even cruel efforts to criminalize doctors and parents who provide medical care to their transgender children. American history is rich with dark tales of mass hysteria, the Salem witch trials, the Red Scare, and satanic panic, and too many others. And today, we are seeing a trans hysteria viral in the country and in Utah. And part of that we are seeing is a coordinated effort to ban books by queer and POC authors. And rarely at the Equality Utah office does a week go by when we don't receive a report of teachers being harassed for showing acceptance for their queer students. Now, many people clamor for parental rights unless you are the parent of a transgender child. For the past 3 years, we have successfully blocked legislation that would ban medical care for transgender children. And we know in 2023, we're going to have that battle again. The hysteria around trans youth is also harming other children. We warned people that this would happen, Some parents are now scrutinizing the bodies of cisgender female student athletes whose bodies don't look feminine enough. Their bodies are being reported and investigated, and these modern-day witch hunts are likely to only increase. And there's more. Just last week, we were at Capitol Hill again to debate another hearing on conversion therapy. And more than one lawmaker stated their desire to nullify our ban and legalize this dangerous, discredited, odious quackery. There are more ominous clouds. After Roe was overturned last June, Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas sent a warning that the court should next reconsider overturning marriage equality. Friends, when lawmakers and Supreme Court justices say they want to nullify gay marriage and legalize conversion therapy, we need to believe them. But it doesn't mean we're going to let them. So everything that we have been building is at stake. Our lives, our families, and our children. But I am wired for hope. And what I've learned over the past 2 decades of advocacy is that you never know when surprising allies will emerge in our hour of need. Now, when Justice Thomas threatened marriage equality, our allies in DC went to work. The federal bipartisan Respect for Marriage Act was introduced, and it passed overwhelmingly in the US House with the support of all 4 of our Utah congressmen. All 4. Congressman John Curtis and Blake Moore have joined us tonight, so thank you very much. The bill moves next to the Senate, but for it to pass, we're going to need at least 10 Republicans to vote yes. So we're working on that. Equality Utah has sent thousands of your phone calls and your emails to Senators Romney and Lee asking for their support. I have personally been communicating with Senator Romney's chief of staff, and 2 weeks ago, working closely with the Human Rights Campaign, we delivered thousands of signatures from all of you to his Salt Lake City office. We don't know the fate of the bill yet, but we earned marriage equality, and we are not giving up our families, not now, not ever. Oh, they don't know what they've unleashed, have they? 7 years ago, 2 of my close gay friends were assaulted outside of Club Jam. And then we had no hate crimes law in place, and ultimately no path to justice. Because of that incident, and because of the work of Senators Urquhart and Thatcher and Sim Gill and so many more, we passed a law in 2019. Thanks. Last month, Christian and his boyfriend Jacob were allegedly assaulted outside of his home. Later, their home was vandalized. But this time, we have a new law in place. Arrests have been made and the assailants charged. Christian and Jacob are here tonight. We love you, we're rooting for you, and you will see justice. Finally, we all know all the sports fervor has consumed our state. And can I tell you, I have been talking to Utah Republican legislators about sports for 3 years now, and I don't know shit all about sports. All right? Thanks to all the lesbians who've been coaching me. I appreciate that. Of the 75,000 high school athletes, only 1 transgender girl who is registered to play in Utah. Now, she and 2 other girls who hope to play school sports in the future have courageously agreed to be plaintiffs in a lawsuit challenging the constitutionality of the ban. The girls are anonymous, but they all know who they are. And because of their courage, last week, Judge Kelly properly recognized that HB 11 discriminates against transgender girls and its enforcement would cause harm. Because of their courage, that law is now on hold. So I want to send a huge thank you to those 3 girls, the National Center for Lesbian Rights, the ACLU of Utah, and the law firm of Wilson Sonsini. Thank you so much. Utah, let's stop targeting and harming kids. This is why we're here tonight. This is why we do the important work, so that LGBT kids will be free to grow up and achieve their full potential. And I so believe that the love that we generate tonight is so much more powerful than all of the fear out there. So tonight, we're asking for your continued support of Equality Utah. Please help us preserve as our many achievements and help us secure greater legal protections for LGBTQ Utahns and our families. Yes, the odds always seem stacked against us. But with all of you standing together with us, shining like a million stars, we know we're going to prevail.